Hi, I'm gonna read from the book Färjan, The Ferry by me, Tomas Berglund. This is the second video. I don't need to worry about anything else. The snow fell yesterday and today. I need to shovel the car out, but now it's getting dark. I'll do it tomorrow. Tomorrow is a very nice spectacle. It's coming to me without asking for it. What can't be done tomorrow? The neighbor's floor creaks and creaks. I had a laundry time today, not much laundry, but still worth washing. I'm nervous about going out into the stairs. I'm nervous about going out in the yard. I sneak down to the laundry room in number 7A. I've used the machines before, so it works pretty well. My jeans keep slipping down, and so I hold on to them. When you have jeans you want to that slide down all the time, you learn to appreciate the waistband, a belt that you can tighten that will hold when the pants want to come off. It's incredible what people have thought of different things in the past. There is a shortage on a need, and then there is an invention that fills the need. When the waistband is not enough, you have to use suspenders and the waistband. It's really the solution to the problem of the pants wanting to slide down. As I said, I'm not there at the moment. For now, a proper waistband is enough for me. It's harder and harder the rounder I get. How much can be fit in a life? How many lives can mix with mine? Where am I when I disappear? I can just disappear. I'm here in my warm little apartment. Here I'm protected. No one is poking at me. I can be left alone. I'm saving myself for better days. Other days than this one. I should have been at the employment service today, this morning, but the car isn't right. At least 3 out of 5 glow plugs are broken. It's possible to start a car. It's been the engine heater, right on the rocker. Then you can keep it alive as long as it doesn't get cold, but then it stops. Sven called, my mother's ex-brother-in-law, and wondered if we could shop for them, and technically it would be possible to arrange it. But it would be better if we could help another day. I have a hard time with increased responsibility on days like this. I want to cancel. Small and frail has a place to hide. Big and strong was a long time ago. Of course I felt big and strong, but as I said, it was a long time ago, so long ago that I barely remember what it was like. Despite all the pills and capsules, I lack strength. What kind of medicine am I actually taking? I know a little bit about the medicine I take. I understand the idea behind most of my medicines. And most medicines work one way at low doses and another way at high doses. One kind of medicine that I take is to stabilize my mood, to pick me up if I want to go down and pick me down if I want to go up. That medicine wants to pick me up in the middle. Then we have the neuroleptics that can both stabilize and keep me down from going up in mania and psychosis. Then we have the sleeping medicines that help create a sleepy state. And then the sleeping medicines that help me falling asleep. If it weren't for the medications, I wouldn't be alive today. I'm so sick that it's impossible to fairly assess the importance of the medicines. Then it's clear that my body and psyche have been in contact with medication for so long that they have gotten used to them. It would be interesting to just gradually reduce the medications and see what happens. When would that start to show how little medication is really needed? A certain amount may be a bit redundant, but I think I would break through pretty quickly. I have a tendency to spiral into mania and psychosis. I think I would end up there pretty quickly if we cut back on the medications. Big and strong was a while ago, quite a long time ago. And it's been about me feeling big and strong. Not necessarily that I've been big and strong. When my mood swings, I can feel like it's real, or it's real in its own way. I can go anywhere and switch on the strength. It only extends a little bit of my life. I can feel incredibly strong and powerful. And then there's nothing backing up me. Not anything. It's strange. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, as they say, and there's so much in it. It's only after a while that you can determine whether someone is strong. Johannes radiates both strengthness and weakness, mostly weakness. He can remind you of a newly hatched baby bird, not strength in its usual form perhaps, but he wants to move forward. He wants something to happen. It almost takes too long to put on the seat belts. It's almost like a sleep sigh when we put on the seat belts. I feel with my right hand, and there's Johannes with his left hand. That's the closest we come to holding each other. Now the last few times we've seen each other, Johannes has smelled good or normal. Sometimes he can stink from his mouth or body. He he's apparently bad at getting into the shower and brushing his teeth. The houses on Halmvägen look to be built out of wood, white grey. There's nothing wrong with them. If I were to guess, there are 4 apartments on the ground floor and 4 apartments on the first floor. It's possible that it's sensitive. I have for sound. I haven't heard Johannes say anything. There was one resident who had come by mistake, though. He just sat outside by the gate and stared. I think it's because he was screaming. He didn't want to be alone in his apartment. He probably didn't understand what he was doing there. Johannes has told me that he has moved on now. I think he and I took a taxi together the other week. He was talking to himself. The name was right. I wonder where he lived now. It's not easy at all. Oscar. At least one really important positive thing has happened in my life, and that is that Oscar came to us. He was a naked little shit who came out on 04, 01, 14, and no one will be able to take him away from me or anyone else. He may inherit the disease from me, but he is absolutely fantastic. He came to visit me yesterday, Tuesday, and he shoots away. He shoots away so much. Why is that? What's wrong with that? I call my son, but he doesn't answer. He only answers sometimes. I write the occasional text message. I think it could be positive for his self-esteem and self-image to be a little sought after, at least as a dad who gets in touch. I miss him so much. When I think about it, I realize that Oscar has probably been healthy for all his life. He never has been sick. It's a bit strange. Maybe a cold comes along every now and then, but never really sick in any way. I hope it lasts. It's great. He probably has a good immune system when it's been like this. It's a huge gift to always stay healthy. But Mom Lotten and I are pretty healthy, if you don't count my mental illness. I'm pretty sick mentally, but physically I'm as healthy as can be. Can you divide health in this way? Oscar has me in his hands. I call once or twice a day, and I can get hold of him. I either write I love you or love you from day to day. When I spoke to his mother the other day, she thought I could settle for hearing him once a week, but I can't handle it. I long so much. I want to hear a word so badly, and I think he understands it. I'm his oldest fan. I'm his most loyal fan. I would go through fire and water, earth and air. There I will stand, naked into the most naked. Do whatever you want. Step on me, stab me, like in Disney's Ferdinand the Bull. Oscar is angry with me. He's irritated. I'm in the way. I am ridiculous and of little interest. Sometimes it seems like he would have been better off without me than with me. But then I think that this can only be for a short while. Right now, he pushes away to see if I or we, Lotten and I, are left standing. He can't explicitly dislike us. We who has fed him since he was little, who have bathed and dried him and put him to bed. Surely we have a small value, a little tiny, tiny value. Is this something that everyone has to go through, or is it just Oscar who is affected? Is he the only person in the whole world? There is real anger there, pure anger, a damned force that wants to express itself. We are together for so little time, and yet he doesn't want to meet for more than 2 hours when we do see each other. It can all be shrunk down to as little as possible. What if we only saw each other for for 5 minutes? What's nice that I know that everything I do is negative, and in the way it's one of the same state anyway. I don't have to think whether it's up or down. It's really down, down, down. In our relationship anyway. Father and son are more alike than you might think, much more alike if you start comparing the two side by side. Now what I long for has happened for my life as it is now, without a partner, without a real job, without anything to demand of anyone. I got to talk on the phone to my son Oscar. Beep beep, and then click. Hey Oscar, hey, it's Daddy. And there is a little sun rising. I'm there with him, a few seconds, an eternity, as long as it takes. Once he was just a little creature in Mom's belly. Once he came out so small and so weak. But then he ate and he drank and he got bigger and bigger and bigger. He became a little boy, a little guy, and now a young man. A young person understands almost anything. The relation with Oscar's mother, the relation with Lotte must probably always be special. We were young lovers, we met and left each other, and then we met again. When we had been together for 10 years, we had Oscar, and I went off the rails in perhaps my longest sick period. It didn't last. I fell into the abyss. I went up in the sky. It lasted so many years that I was still able to take care of Oscar. It's incredible that I dared to take care of Oscar on my own, that Lotten had confidence in me. I'm grateful, that's all I can say. I tried to do things right and proper, but I was still pretty much in my own kingdom, in my own country. It was until Oscar turned 7 and he was about to start school that I basically took care of Oscar part-time, every other week at my place and every other week at Lotten's. Basically, at certain times I was so sick that Oscar had to live with Lotten. I had moved to that big house in my dreams, and I was mostly at home with Oscar. We had some video with children programs on. We had a laptop. We ate well and properly. We often took a nap in the middle of the day. We made a fire in the boiler and played with things in what functioned as a library in the house. We had a very peaceful and comfortable time, if you want to put it that way. Then, after school started, there was so much driving and picking up from the village that I simply couldn't handle it. I was on sick leave for long periods, and That meant I would maybe drive 40 kilometers to schools in the morning, then I would drive 40 kilometers home and rest, and then drive 40 kilometers into town to pick up from school, then 40 kilometers home again. Sometimes I wished that I had an apartment in town, but I didn't. It became more and more every other weekend with Oscar, and so that we could meet on, for example, Wednesday evening and swim at the bathhouse and buy a hamburger together. There were different openings. And so when it came to Lotten, I probably don't have that many romantic or loving feelings left. I may have more friendly feelings left. I want her to have a great time, and I think she's done a great job when it comes to Oscar. Even though I don't know how much about what she and Oscar have really done, I haven't gotten into the details. I've thought that she seemed to be doing so well that I haven't had anything to complain about. Um, it feels safe that she is married and living in a loving relationship because that's what I've understood that it's all about. Ina seems to be a nice person, a cheerful person. I feel certain frustration when I get a copy of my son's grades for spring 2022. He has only one F, as in fail, and he has chosen to let me tell me that he has not received any grades from the school. But obviously the grades are there, and I wonder if it's this because he didn't want me to be affected by the somewhat low grades, or what is it? I think there is a B and a C and a D and an E and an F. I love him just as much regardless of his grades. What does he think? What is he thinking? The summer there were never any grades. Would I fall for that charm? Does he think I am ignorant? I just don't know how to confront him, but he should know that I know and I can find out about Oscar's bad grades. Are there any more grades that are at risk at falling into the F bracket? He's so into his computer that everything else suffers. How many children don't recognize themselves? How many parents don't recognize themselves? Of course, you learn a lot via the computer, but of course, you also miss on a lot via the computer. Movement, interaction with other people, and more. I just called Oscar's mother, Lotten. I thought I wanted to double check if Oscar can have the car tomorrow, Saturday at 1 p.m., and he couldn't. Lotten needed a car, so he can't visit me unless I pick him up. We had a good conversation, upbuilding, positive and pleasant, no negative accusatory tones. accusatory tones. It's easy to take each other for granted when it comes to different things when we lived together for 10 years. You know that you can get what you can get out of the other with buttons to push for one thing or the other. As beautiful as Lotten was in today's conversation, so beautiful is the most beautiful way she has ever been. She was positive towards me, and I didn't feel that she dragged me down, rather up. There was a playful thread to it all, a humorous tone that lifted the mood, a warm and caring side that held me and made me warm. Overall, many of the qualities that I like best about her. No accusations, because that can sometimes sneak in between the seams. A question about why I did this and that, a maturity that is remarkable, a beautiful woman inside out. Lovely. Deep down in my heart, of course, is my son Oscar. I'm sorry that I'm being denied access. I can call for a week without him answering. Finally, I call his mother and create some order in the mess. I don't know if I want it this way. It feels like I ended up at a disadvantage, a situation that I've never wanted to end up in any time of my life. I can simply stop calling and not hear back. Maybe that's the case. What else should I do? It's almost the same with cousin Tom, that I can hear back but don't get any response. It's just me and cousin Tom that can skim the surface a little. The son Oscar, who had said he would come to me today at 1 p.m., he hasn't heard from me all week, and now I call him at 3 p.m. Then he blames it on Mom having the car, and I try to ask him how I would know. He hasn't called and said anything. When he find out that nothing would happen, then he would have been able to get in touch with me, but it just doesn't seem to work out. He doesn't see. He probably thinks I'm being too demanding, but actually, I don't want to be treated this way by anyone ever. First a promise, then nothing.